Next, we are going to discuss what is responsive design and how Bootstrap will support it. So, maybe if someone has any kind of idea what Bootstrap is, maybe they can share us their thoughts. Yes, the idea behind responsive design is that the content is it should be kind of flexible. It should act like a water, so that, for example, if you put it in a different devices, if you then the content should automatically adjust itself so that it looks in or it is shown in an efficient manner. That's the idea behind responsive design. For example, if the water is in the cup, then it becomes a kind of, it has a shape of a cup, but if it's in a bottle, it has a shape of the water. It should, for your content, your website should follow the same structure. So if it is seen on a mobile device, the content should look in an efficient way to the user on a mobile, and if the similar website is viewed on a laptop or a larger screen, then the content should look kind of appropriate for that setting with large number of with more space. So that's the idea behind the responsive design. So efficiently render the same web page on variety of devices and screen. And how you can do that, there are a lot of layouts or methods available in different CSS framework. For example, this fluid concept, the idea is that the items or the elements are from placed on a screen from left to right. So the more space you have on the screen, the more item can be put, but if there is less space, the items are automatically moved to the next line or next position. Similarly, there are concept of grids. So for example, you have a kind of a grid or kind of a table in which you have a kind of 50% on the left side, 50% on the right side. So you have a proportion of spaces available to you which looks similar on different devices. For example, another concept is flexible images, for example, which changes size according to the space or according to the size of the screen or width of the screen. And how to address this, how this can be achieved, is also through using this CSS3 media queries, which allow you to define how different classes act based on different screen resolutions or different devices. For example, in CSS media query, you can define how, let's say you have a class A, how it will be shown on a device with 500 pixel resolution, and how it will be shown on a 1200 pixel resolution, how it should be shown if someone is trying to access it from a kind of let's say a device which has a kind of landscape layout, or if it has a portrait layout. These kind of things can be adjusted using this CSS media to show a kind of, or to achieve responsive design. So in order to understand this responsive design and to go into a bit of history, let's first try to understand some of the terms which are used in the community to define this responsiveness design. So the most initial term which was coined was mobile friendly or graceful degradation. The idea behind this mobile friendly website are those that the website should be kind of designed in such a way that if it is viewed in a kind of smaller device or mobile device, then the same version is kind of slimmed down so that, or zoomed out so that it can easily be viewed on a smaller device. So functionality will be there, but it might not be very user friendly. So you will see exactly the same view in the PC and the mobile, but the size would be smaller. So this was kind of the first concept that was introduced when people started, or when the mobiles were getting very popular. After that, there was a concept which is mobile optimized. So some of the application or some of the devices were or web applications were developed which was optimized for mobile, so that the mobile users can see the application in the most effective manner. They are not designed for the PC but for the mobile. And one example of such a mobile optimized web application would be, for example, if you try to access Facebook through a kind of mobile device, you will see that it is redirected to your kind of different version of Facebook, which is hosted at m.facebook.com, which is a kind of example of mobile optimized web application, because if you see it on even on the interface or laptop by accessing m.facebook.com, you will see that it looks kind of a device application or website which has been designed for mobile. And finally, this the concept evolved to the concept of mobile responsiveness, which means that the content should be organized automatically so that the content remain the same, but it is displayed in an optimal manner on different devices. Maybe for example, let's say if on the bigger screen the data you show kind of three items together, but if it is on a mobile device, the three items can be one after one below another, so that it can be easily seen, and it all the spaces are utilized in an efficient manner. So in order to develop this kind of application, this kind of website, there are two different strategies available. So the first is kind of responsive design strategy, which was an older one, where the idea was that the user first design an application or website for a laptop or a bigger screen, then step by step degrade or adjust it so that it can be efficiently viewed on a smaller device. But what is the approach that Bootstrap follows is a kind of mobile first design. And the idea behind is that since mobile has a limited resources in terms of pixels and space, so it would be more effective if we start with the design of an application or a website from a mobile, then step by step redesign or restructure it for a bigger screen where we have more space and we have more freedom to show the elements in a way we want to show. So that is the approach we want to follow in the Bootstrap, or the what how the Bootstrap follows. And to see how this different responsiveness work, we can see that, for example, some examples. For example, one of this site is can be seen as a non-responsive website. If you see it on a big screen, you will see that okay, this has been designed for a desktop application. Similarly, if you try to reduce the size of your browser, as you can see in the second image on in the middle, so half of the website or half of the content is being cut off, and you have to do a scroll down, or you have to scroll. So the application and content is still there, but you have it is not very user friendly. And for example, if you try to see the same application or same website on a mobile, then you see a kind of slimmed down version or a kind of zoomed out version, so you can still see the application but is not kind of user friendly. As compared to this non-responsive website, we can see a kind of example of a responsive website, which is a UDE website. And you can see that on a big screen, the content looks a kind of it looks like it has been designed for a laptop or a bigger screen. But if you reduces your screen size, the application or the website automatically adjusted its contents, and now it looks like it has been designed for a mobile also. So the icons has been reduced, the drop down or the UI or the navigations has been put into a kind of button. So as you can see, the things and the website look more professional and more responsive now, even though it is the same page which is accessed at different devices. This is the idea behind responsive design.